Good day, grade 9 students! Welcome to our science class. Today may be your first day checking in our online classroom, right? Let me introduce myself first. My name is Rosemary, or you can call me Teacher Rose. I will be your science teacher for the school year 2020 to 2021. Isn't it amazing? I hope so. A little info about myself. I graduated Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, major in General Science. I've been teaching for 9 years. I guess that's all for this moment. We will just know more about each other as we go along with our class. But before we will start with our proper class, a little reminder about the proper netiquette.
What is netiquette? This refers to rules and norms for interacting with others on the internet in a considerate and respectful way. We have 10 guidelines to make sure your online manners are up to par. Number 1. Shh! No yelling! There's a time and a place for everything. But in most situations, typing in all caps is inappropriate. Most readers tend to perceive it as shouting and will have a hard time taking what you say seriously, no matter how intelligent your response may be. If you have vision issues, there are ways to adjust how text displays so you can still see without coming across as angry.
Number 2. Don't be sarcastic. Sarcasm has been the source of plenty of misguided arguments online, as it can be incredibly difficult to understand the commenter's intent. What may seem like an obvious joke to you could come across as off-putting or rude to those who don't know you personally. As a rule of thumb, it's best to avoid sarcasm altogether in an online classroom. Instead, lean toward being polite and direct in the way you communicate to avoid these issues. Number 3. Don't abuse the chat box. Chat boxes are incorporated into many online classes as a place for students to share ideas and ask questions related to the lesson. It can be a helpful resource or a major distraction. It all depends on how well students know their classroom etiquette. The class chat box isn't an instant messenger like you'd use with friends. Treat it like the learning tool is meant to be, and try not to distract your classmates with off-topic discussions. Number 4. Attempt to find your own answer. If you're confused or stuck on an assignment, your first instinct may be to immediately ask a question. But before you ask, take the time to try to figure it out on your own. For questions related to class structure, such as due dates or policies, refer to your syllabus. Attempt to find the answers to any other questions on your own using a search engine. If your questions remain unanswered after a bit of effort, feel free to ask me. Number 5. Observe grammar. Always make an effort to use proper punctuation, spelling, and grammar. Trying to decipher a string of misspelled words with erratic punctuation frustrates the reader and distracts from the point of your message. On the other hand, it's important to be reasonable about others' grammar mistakes. Nobody likes the grammar police and scolding a classmate because he or she used your instead of your isn't practicing proper etiquette.
Number 6. Set a respectful tone. Every day may feel like casual day in an online classroom where you don't see anyone in person. But a certain level of formality is still expected in your communication with me. In addition to proper punctuation and spelling, it's good etiquette to use respectful greetings and signatures, full sentences, and even the same old please and thank you use in real life.
Number 7. Submit files the right way. You won't be printing assignments and handing them to me in person. So knowing how to properly submit your work online is key to your success as an online student. In submitting the file assignment, follow the naming conventions so that it helps me to keep things organized or acceptable file formats. Ignoring these instructions is a common example of bad netiquette. If you don't follow instructions, you're taking the risk that I won't be able to find or open your assignment. Save yourself and me a headache and read the instructions carefully before submitting. Number 8. Read first. Take some time to read through each of the previous discussion post responses before writing your own response. If the original post asks a specific question, there's a good chance someone has already answered it. Number 9. Think before you reply. A passing comment spoken in class can be forgotten a few minutes later, but what you share in an online classroom is part of a permanent digital record.
Number 10. Be kind and professional. Make a point to be kind and respectful in your comments, even if you disagree with someone. Remember that an online classroom is still a classroom. As what Lynch says, good netiquette means conducting yourself in an online class with the same respect, politeness, and professionalism that you would exhibit in a real-life classroom.
I hope we will have a fun learning time in our class.